Greetings, citizens, and welcome to another adventure of the Real Comic Heroes podcast. My name is Travis.
And I'm Patrick.
What's up, guys? It's Pete. I'm back again.
Welcome back, Pete.
Yeah, welcome back.
So
joining us for a doozy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's weird having you on without talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger, so...
Yeah, that's true. You know what? I hadn't thought about that. I should have just done all the Arnold movies and the secret theme.
Yeah.
Well, you had Courtney on for Terminator, though. I did listen to that one. That's good.
Yeah.
That's Kurt Russell. He's in the same vein.
Yeah.
That's true. I mean, I don't know. This movie's always been a guilty pleasure for me, but I suppose we'll get into the details.
Yeah. If you're new to the show, each episode we just want to get our truck back, which means we're ready for some Big Trouble in Little China. You can find our list of reviews over at reelpodcastnetwork.com. So, yeah, again, welcome, Pete. It's good to have you back.
I have to take breaks every once in a while from being aboard the Galactica.
Yeah. Yeah, Pete joins us from the Battlestar, or I guess the Resurrection cast, where they talk about Battlestar Galactica. So it's a pretty awesome show. If you're not familiar with it, you should definitely check it out. But
it's been a good...
Oh, go ahead.
It's been a good time. I'm still obsessed. What's funny is every once in a while I listen to one of them myself and hear myself say something that is exactly what I still think about the show.
Nice.
It's rather odd. But yeah, that was years ago. But we're still out there floating around.
The wonders of the internet.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Preserved for all time.
Okay, so Big Trouble Little China. Do we want to hear some taglines?
Oh, definitely.
Okay, well, it's going to start off pretty weak, but gradually work its way up. So, Big Trouble Little China. Adventure doesn't come any bigger. Yeah. Then you got, they told Jack Burton to go to hell, and that's exactly where he's going. I like that one.
Okay.
And then it's all in the reflexes. Common phrase he spits out throughout the movie.
Yeah.
Try to find big reason before you visit World of Magic.
Yikes.
I felt like I was having trouble not sound really bad there.
Yeah.
Because they structured it so
broken English.
Stereotypically.
Yeah. Classy marketing, guys. Real nice.
Yeah. I'm surprised there wasn't a love you long time thrown in there.
Right.
Eesh. And then you got Jack Burton's in for some serious trouble, and you're in for some serious fun.
Ooh. I wasn't sure if you were going to say fun or adventure.
Well, hold your horses. The last and pretty much the perfect description of this movie. A mystical action-adventure comedy kung fu monster ghost story.
Wow, what? Give me that one more time.
A mystical action-adventure comedy kung fu monster ghost story.
That's pretty accurate.
All those things apply.
Yeah.
Because technically Lopan is a ghost in portions of this. So yeah, there you have it. I'd say the Going to Hell one is my favorite. It sounds like you guys like that one the best.
Yeah.
So not too bad other than the rough sentence structure on the one.
Right.
So yeah, Big Trouble Little China. It's quite the movie.
It sure is. Do we want to cover the act breaks real quick?
Sure.
So Act 1 ends with Jack and Wang Chi escaping from the alley, and Jack's truck is taken. Act 2 begins with everyone grouping together at Uncle Chu's, where they devise a plan. And then Act 3 begins with everyone except Gracie regrouping and preparing to engage Lopan's place once again.
Don't they leave behind the red-haired reporter and random friend of Wang? Or what is he, the maitre d' or something?
Eddie,
yeah. I was not sure why he got left away.
Yeah, with everyone though. I mean, like, what's his name? Egg shows up with all of his ninja.
His yellow turban people.
Yeah.
He calls them, even though they're not wearing turbans.
So Pete, you chose this movie. Any particular reason? And I guess follow up question: what's your history with Big Trouble in Little China?
Oh yeah, yeah. No, that in fact, those two questions roll pretty well together. So, 1986, I would have been 7 years old. Now, granted, I didn't see this like in the theater or anything. I remember renting this movie, which means it probably was at the age of like, say, 8 or 9 years old. Which I must say, this is the perfect movie for an 8 or 9 year old. I mean, it was such a guilty pleasure of just like cheesy martial arts and weapons and monsters, and it just forever.
That,
yeah, I mean, it just ironed into my brain at that age. And then as I got older, I still just couldn't, I'd see it on cable or something and go, all right, gotta watch it. I'd say it's probably like even just the character Jack Burton is so cheesy because he's just doing a John Wayne impression basically the whole time. I don't know if you guys really looked at it that way, but
yeah,
that's
one of my notes.
Yeah, and so I mean, even as I get older, I guess I see all these different layers to the movie and just recognize it for what it was, which is just fun. And short of a couple of scenes, most of it holds up pretty well. If you can forgive it for, being like the epitome of the 80s.
Right on.
Very cool.
Yeah. What, Patrick, what about you?
Yeah, I didn't really see this until probably maybe 10 years ago.
Oh,
yeah.
I think I always confused it with Buckaroo Banzai because of the cover art.
Yeah, okay.
Like it's somewhat similar, and I know they're both kind of ridiculous. So I think I always confused the two and was like, I don't know. Because, yeah, when it came out, I was too young to really know about it. So it took until like around 10 years ago. I was out of college already. Damn. Okay. So I was trying to think if I watched it while like bored in college, but apparently not. Bored in real life. And yeah, I enjoyed it. I mean, I actually own this movie just because of how much I enjoyed watching it that first time. Because like you were saying, I just love his like cocky swagger, even though he knows nothing about what's going on around him.
Yeah.
Like is just and like total unaware of his surroundings, but still thinks he's the hero of everything, even though Wang's doing all the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just enjoy this movie a lot.
Right on.
What about you, Travis?
Only watched this for the first time maybe 2 years ago.
Oh wow, okay. I don't feel as bad.
2 or 3 maybe now. Yeah, it just wasn't. I don't know. It's like so many other movies. It's like I just missed them as a kid, and then never got around to it. My wife and I were sitting around watching, finding something on Netflix, and it was available on Netflix, and we just threw it on because it was kind of this is pop culture-y and seemed to have like a beloved following kind of thing. So we figured, it's worth a watch probably. So yeah, watching it for this, review it was my second viewing. So don't have a ton of history, and there were a few things from it that I recognized. Obviously, some of the images of like Lo Pan and the Three Storms characters and a couple of things like that. Like I recognized from various like memes or just things from social media. So and I will say a lot of it I didn't remember from watching it a couple of years ago. So this viewing was. It was somewhat familiar, but still very like fresh, I suppose.
Okay. Sounds like it didn't leave as big of an impression as it did for myself.
I'm sure that's just because of seeing it so late in life. I mean, had I seen this as a kid, it probably would have left a bigger, bigger mark. But we'll get into it and everything.
All right. I think I'm sensing that you are saying that I am like a child then. Because I enjoyed it,
right.
And I was older. You son of a bitch.
Yep.
Well, you could use me as the focal point, though, because you're right. I'm fully admitting this branded on me as a child. And
right.
I bought every piece of the propaganda. I went right along with all Jack Burton's the baddest dude on the planet, even though he's completely out of his element.
Big dumb American.
Right, exactly. But he plays it so well.
He does,
I can't help but wonder at what moment he was like, do you guys just want me to do John Wayne? And they were like, I don't know, try it out for a little bit of dialogue. And then, oh yeah, perfect. Just go with that. Just don't say Pilgrim. Get right there, but don't say Pilgrim.
Yeah.
I mean, and just some of the things throughout the movie that he mentions, like they'll walk into the elevator and he's like, this is about 2 inches of steel. And, he's like, somehow he's an expert on everything, yet none of it really matters.
Yeah.
I'm getting ahead of myself here, though, I guess.
All right. So you want to get into this film? The movie doesn't wait for anything, so we might as well.
Yeah.
Sucker starts right up.
So load up in the old Pork Chop Express and get to it, boys.
10-4, good, buddy.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting one to talk about, I think. So, do we want to just get going with Act 1?
Yeah, hit it.
All right. So, Act 1, we start off right away with a little story from Mr. Egg Shen, I want to say his name is. Driver of the Egg Fuyuan tour bus.
Yep.
Very, very classy. In this one, I have always wondered at the beginning, not the very beginning, but with the Pork Chop Express, who the hell's listening to Jack Burton? Because all he does is like talk at people.
Yeah.
So it's almost like he's got his own podcast or radio show going on.
Oh, that's awesome, because I had a very similar note.
Yeah. It was just so weird.
Yeah.
I was like trying to put my mind into the person that's listening to this and thinking, well, this is kind of entertaining, but this guy talking is totally out of his mind.
Like what are his listeners getting out of it, essentially?
Yeah, it's like, remember Jack Burton this, Jack Burton that.
Remember what Jack Burton always says. Yeah, no, I wrote down basically the same thing. Like, he's a podcaster. Truck drivers are podcasters. They've got like limited audience. They're mobile. It's it's interesting because I guess it's other truck drivers that are listening to him.
Yeah.
Maybe people with like CB radios at their homes, but for the most part, it's like he's just talking. It doesn't matter who's listening. I don't think he's waiting for responses. Nope. He's just filling his time with, I'm just going to start talking and spewing all this like, collected wisdom from over the years and all these little catchphrases and,
He's basically preaching.
Kind of, yeah.
I just thoroughly enjoyed that part. It's so random and weird.
It's an interesting approach, too. Because they could have easily wrote a tiny bit of dialogue where maybe someone asked him a question that allowed him to ramble for the next 10 minutes. But no, you're right. He's just spilling the Jack Burton wisdom to the universe, whether they want it or not.
And that's the key right there. I don't think anyone wants it, but he doesn't care, and he's still doing it. It's a perfect introduction of this character.
Yeah. It's probably like to help keep him awake on the road. It's just part of his like therapy of truck driving. Like, I'm just going to talk while I'm driving because I got nothing else to do. So
who else is going to listen to him bitch about his ex-wife, right? I mean, that was in there, wasn't it?
Which one?
Yeah, exactly. There you go. You out there talking on your radio again, Jack? Yeah, I thought so.
So yeah, that was just, to me, one of the better introductions to a character because it basically told me what I'm in store for.
Yeah, I'm really glad you picked up on the podcaster connection too. So
yeah, I'm kind of annoyed I never thought of John Wayne. That is perfect. Like, I just put it up to cocky swagger. I didn't think to put it to a
No, I'm telling
actor.
You, go watch some clips on YouTube after this of just like Jack Burton quotes, and if you close your eyes, you could see John Wayne there. I swear, it's impressive.
Awesome. Did anyone else have I don't know. This might be just me because this is really still a fresh movie for me. I find the airport stuff really hard to follow. Basically because we've got, not Jack. Jack's easy to like follow because he's confused as well. So I don't have a problem in this movie following like what Jack's
So you
thinking.
identify with Jack and his confusion?
Totally. Yeah. Jack is the audience. Jack is us, this entire movie. But like, so we've got Jack and Wang who are like, they go to the airport to pick up Meow, and she picks up a package. Wang is picking up Meow. Kim Cattrall is picking up Tara.
Mm-hmm.
Then the Lords of Death show up and grab Tara.
No, they grab his girlfriend.
Or maybe they push her out of the way, or maybe... I
don't think they're after her necessarily.
Okay.
Yeah, I think here's probably what you're getting confused about, is that the Lords of Death, the Lords of Death don't work for Lopan. They're just grabbing women. And like they kind of gloss over that because this is like PG-13 movie, and we don't want to talk about how they're forcing these women into slavery or sex slavery in the United States. But
okay, you might be right because later on, I guess I confused what's going on in the brothel with. Like it finally dawned on me, like the brothel and Lopan aren't connected. They're just they're completely separate.
You're right. His guys go there and get her later on. It just so happens that while they're snatching women at the airport, which they can apparently walk into with all the weapons in the world and no one cares.
Pre 9/11.
Yeah, that's true.
But time.
But I think that's probably what was confusing you, is that you've got like kind of a three-way dance of kidnapping and rescue going on.
Yeah. And I think like I was trying to take notes and pausing at the same time. So I know I definitely saw an image of like one of the Lords of Death guys. Like he must have been pushing Tara out of the way because she's got like a scared look on her face. So I thought, oh, okay, they grabbed her that's what it was like freeze framed on. So that didn't help with my confusion of understanding what was kind of happening. And then I hit play again, and then it's just kind of mass chaos and everyone's running around screaming and all that. So I think I just mistook it for they were.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
It's I think it's just Kim Cattrall or Gracie's there for that very reason. I always thought was to prevent her from getting kidnapped because she knows about because what did she say? She's protecting her civil liberties or something.
Yeah. Because
there's a rash of kidnappings of young Asian women.
Okay. So I wasn't really sure why.
I think that's her connection with her. Yeah. Because I honestly can't think of anything else she does. The girl that she's picking up.
She like pops her head in one scene later on in this first act, or I guess the beginning of the second act, but she's not a part of the story. So maybe just a representation of like she would have been claimed for the brothel.
I was to say, until I watched it this time, I, for whatever reason, which I'm trying to remember the last time I watched it, I guess it's probably in the past couple of years, but I always remembered Kim Cattrall's character as being the journalist. I thought she was both of that she was exposing all of it.
Yeah, that would have made sense to me. Why not wrap them up into one character? Right,
but instead it's just her friend, and she's just this vigilante looking to break up a sex slavery ring, which, I mean, good on her, but it's kind of odd how they just don't really talk about it.
Yeah.
I always thought she was like a private detective.
I thought someone said something about a lawyer later on, like once she's...
I forget
now, but in the second act, she like pops in and introduces herself. Like her name's Gracie Law, and I'm pretty sure she says like I'm a lawyer or something like that, but I don't know. We'll don't want to get too
this
far
isn't
ahead,
a movie where I look at the details too much. It's just so much action going on.
See, and I was coming at it like I think looking at it a little too hard, maybe too closely, trying to figure things out and not just letting the action and adventure and fun like wash over me, maybe as I would if I had seen this, in the 80s or 90s,
Yeah, you're looking at it as an adult and wondering, where's Gracie get her paycheck from? How does she afford to do all this? She's the civil liberties lawyer that'll get her hands dirty. Like,
what's her rent?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I know it's the 80s and it's cheap, but she lives in Los Angeles. Like, she's got to be doing something for a living.
So let's see. Anything else on the airport kind of area?
I think if anything, it lets you know right away that this is an 80s movie, because as soon as those Lords of Death show up with those, like, I don't even know what you would call them, those sunglasses that they have that are just like little eye holes and stuff.
I love the look of that one with the eye slits. That's really awesome. It reminded me of the think the animated Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Foot Clan would have like real narrow slit eyes. Kind of.
Oh yeah.
I might be mistaken. I might be. Oh, I'm thinking of either Bebop or Rocksteady. One of them had the glasses with the real narrow slits like that. That's what I was.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It's funny you bring up Ninja Turtles because that's going to come up for me later.
Okay, right on.
I enjoyed this. It's also the scene at the airport. It's the introduction of the Gracie and Burton relationship. It's sort of I enjoy the fact that she can sort of push him aside.
Sure.
And I love that comment where she said it smelled like Miller time or something.
Yeah.
He'd been drinking all night, playing some weird Chinese poker game or gambling game, which ended with him trying to cut a bottle in half. I don't know.
It's all in the reflexes.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It was a good introduction to her character because she's there to rescue and save and all that stuff. So
I like I like Jack and Gracie's, I guess, interaction, and they're both fun characters for sure.
Oh yeah.
And then Mortal Kombat happens.
Oh yeah, it does.
It's kind of my next note as far as like, this alleyway fight and just these two gangs show up, and after they start fighting.
It's a funeral procession.
Yeah.
Well, you said Mortal Kombat, and I assume that's because the brothers of Raiden show up.
Yeah, the three stores.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I love those guys. They're my favorite part of this movie.
Yeah, if you can't get into this movie just with if you can make it to this opening sequence where they pull up in the alley and it turns into the biggest martial arts fight that just all around them. Like, if you can't follow that part, you're not going to enjoy this movie.
Right. Yeah.
It's such a guilty pleasure for me every time. To this day, and again, it's probably from my influence of being a kid, but I have absolutely used this sequence in games of D&D before in a slightly different fashion, but this is one of my go-tos, where it's okay, if the characters are far enough off track, then I have no problem just letting them walk into a battle between two groups of villains, and
Nice.
Now you're in it whether you want to be or not. It's kind of a catch-all.
Yeah.
Which, granted, I'm guilty of that, and I'm sure a lot of other people are when they run D&D, of just grabbing pieces of narrative. But I've gone so far into this one that it literally was two different groups of monks and stuff. It was funny. The characters were all rolling along in a cart with an equivalent Jack Burton character, and I just literally rolled them right into the scenario.
Nice.
But during this whole battle, and I didn't actually check online, and I should have, but did anybody else see Jackie Chan in there?
No.
I saw
I thought
something.
I saw him.
Yeah, and I saw a search for it because I was searching to see something else, and I saw another topic, which was, is Jackie Chan in Big Trouble in Little China?
Okay, yeah, so I'm not the only one. I know that sounds terribly racist to me to be like, oh, is he in there? I'm sure he is, but I genuinely don't see why they wouldn't put him in there.
Sure, because at
he
this
was
time
available
he
at the
probably
time.
would have been kicking all sorts of ass over in.
Sure.
Well,
Well, and why not bring him over and maybe not only put him in the movie, but I'm sure he, do all the fight choreography. You have a ton of martial arts in this movie that is filmed in that style, but there's the smash cut of I kick you and then we see you flying.
Yeah, it could have been a situation where he was more like a stunt, like they needed him for a stunt, and then he ends up on camera. He's not listed in the IMDb credits.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean, that he's not there.
I mean, he literally, I could just picture him kicking a guy and then doing that finger point thing that all the other guys do.
Yeah, I like that.
Little finger thumb.
And there's quite a few recognizable, Asian actors
Oh yeah, everybody's in this, dude. There's so many people.
Yeah, even at the start you got Victor Wong, who plays Egg Shen, who I think of as Walter Chang from Tremors.
Oh yeah,
he's the guy that names them graboids.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
I haven't watched Tremors in a while.
Oh, I love Tremors. You got Ao Leong, who plays one of the Wing Kong Hatchet Men. So he's one of the bad guys, and he is Bob Genghis Khan from Bill and Ted's.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let's see. And he's in Die Hard. He's one of the
Yep.
terrorist guys in Die Hard.
He's the guy that eats the chocolate bar while they're waiting on the police to come in.
And I didn't realize, I see him in the credits, but Hiroyuki Tagawa he's listed in this, and he plays, I think, Shang Tsung in Mortal Kombat. And quite a few other movies, but he's like, Your Soul Is Mine, that,
Yeah.
He's in
I don't
a
remember
ton
seeing
of
that
stuff.
guy.
I don't either.
Yeah.
He must have been. He's listed as one of the Wang Kong Man Extra. So uncredited. So this would have been maybe he's early enough that he wasn't like anyone known. He was just there.
Yeah.
So and I recognize one of the other Hatchet men. He's like kind of bigger and I think bald head and.
Did he have the bandoliers? Like
Maybe,
the bullets?
yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I've seen him in stuff too.
I can't. Gerald Okamura.
Oh, the guy who had the 6 guns, you mean?
I think so. Okay, he was in Mortal Kombat, G.I. Joe, Blade Runner, video game.
Yeah, I couldn't understand why that guy didn't just keep shooting while everyone else was kung fu fighting.
Yeah. Samurai Cop. That's where I recognize him from.
Samurai Cop.
That's what he was.
Geez.
Yeah, we saw that this year at a not MST3K. What's the other one? Riff Tracks.
Riff Tracks, yeah.
So that was really fun. But
oh my god, you guys went to a live Riff Tracks?
Well, they like streamed them live.
Yeah.
Those are definitely worth going to.
I'm super jealous. They do have those here too. I've just never gone to one.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan. I thought you were about to tell me you guys just watched Samurai Cop on its own. I was like, oh no.
No.
I don't think we talked about James Hong.
Oh, well.
I mean,
not yet.
Most people probably know him as Mr. Ping from Kung Fu Panda or Poe's dad, the weird goose portrayer of Sticky Buns.
Okay. That's Kung Fu Panda?
That's right.
Yeah, I never saw that.
I haven't either.
It's just one of the first things that pops up. I love that movie.
He blames having a kid on getting, he's got to watch Kung Fu Panda again.
No.
It's his favorite movie. He watches it every night.
Nope. She wanted to watch Big Trouble in Little China, and I wanted to watch Kung Fu Panda.
No, that guy's been in everything.
Oh, yeah. It's ridiculous.
James Hong is the best.
You know what I always think of him as? There's an episode of Seinfeld where they spend the entire episode just waiting to get a table at the Chinese restaurant, and he's like the like the maitre d' or something. Or no, what's the term for it?
Yeah.
He's like the host.
Cartwright, party 4. Cartwright. I said Costanza. Yes, that's right. I say Cartwright.
I'd like the record to show that was Travis.
I'm not ashamed or.
That he killed that character. I mean, just. But he was in Wayne's World as well.
Yes,
wasn't he?
Wayne's World 2.
Yeah, he was the
the
dad.
Yeah, Tia Carrera's dad. Yeah.
Asia Carrera.
Sorry, I mixed up my porn actress Asia Carrera with Tia Carrera.
Zing.
That was awesome.
Old Jack Burton don't mind.
It's all in the reflexes.
Oh, man. Speaking of Jack Burton, one of his lines that are in this act, I actually wrote down. It was, son of a bitch must pay. Loved it.
What was that in reference to?
After they kidnapped, what's her face? Green Eyes.
Meow.
Blink on her. Meow. I don't know how I forget that. Meow. I think that's what he says when she's taken and Wang is, upset or whatever. Okay. And he goes, "Son of a bitch must pay."
Nice.
It was just a classic action line. I think it's just his delivery in this whole movie.
Yeah.
It's like, I can believe he would say that. Is that pretty much it then for?
Pretty much.
Because it ends with the Storm Warriors showing up and everybody panicking, and then Jack Burton is totally fine with running over an old man.
It's weird because like they keep saying that dude's like 7 or 8 feet tall, but I didn't realize that Lopan is meant to be really tall until the end of the movie, and you see him standing up, I guess next to other characters, and thought that was an odd like distinction to make.
Yeah, because you just see him in a wheelchair for a good chunk of the movie too.
Yeah, but even like in his old man wizard, or I guess like in his wizard ghost persona, he's just standing like in front of the truck or behind the truck, and it doesn't seem like he's that tall. But
I thought it was weird he didn't ghost through the truck, because that would have been creepier than what he did.
Yeah,
like if he was just looking up at Jack while in the cab. Like it was weird that he faked getting hit by the truck, because there's like an audible thud.
Yeah.
And it was it was weird. After I saw him walk through stuff, I was like, why didn't he just do that and scare the crap out of him?
Just ghost up into the cab and sit down with him.
Yeah.
Hello, Jack Burton.
I think that would have been cool.
Yeah.
So I was so confused later why he got hit by the truck, but then could walk through everything else, and it was just odd choice.
The rules about his tangibility are real flimsy throughout the movie, because he talks about like not being able to touch Meow when she's like suspended. He's like looming over her. He talks about not being able to touch her, but by the end in the ceremony, he's able to like grab her wrist and use the needle, and then other points he's physical, but
maybe it's part of the ceremony or something.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's not pick this one apart too bad.
Okay. You guys got to have to rein me in on picking this thing apart. So,
come
on. So I have a note. It's probably, I guess, midway between Act 1 and Act 2. It's kind of when they're in. I guess it's when Jack is on the phone with his insurance, and Gracie pops in, and she like pops in and says, "Don't panic, it's just me, Gracie Law." Like, it's such bad delivery, and she's fast talking like an old Lois Lane type character.
Yeah.
And you've got Eddie Lee, who like knows everything.
He's the maitre d'. He knows everything.
Yeah. You got Jack just being the loud, dumb American bitching about his truck. Meanwhile, it's like Meow's been kidnapped. You've got Lords of Death popped up, the gang war, 3 storms, Lopan, stolen truck. Like it's too much. Like I had to pause it and like quickly write that stuff down, because I'm like, I don't know what is going on.
Well, they truncate it later into basically everything is Lopan.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, I could see that. The whole Lords of Death thing kind of, I don't know if you really need it.
Yeah.
Like the whole brothel, Lords of Death thing.
Yeah.
But
do you guys have anything else for Act 1?
No, I just marked down the Storm Warriors there for the end of it. Yeah.
I want to get into Jack Burton's acting skills.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah,
and a little glimpse behind the curtain. If anyone wants to know what Travis looks like, my daughter thinks it's Jack Burton dressed as this sleazy guy.
What? Explain.
She said he has Travis's hair and glasses. So
holy shit! I know what I'm going as for Halloween next year.
Hell yeah, you are.
This year, I guess. Oh my god, that's kind of like
it was kind of like swooped.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the glasses, she probably just thinks because they're dark glasses.
Yeah. Like
frames. So she's like, man. He looks like Travis. So there you go. Travis looks like Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
Dressed as a sleazy car salesman. Or
just
whatever.
Listen here to what old Travis Bowe always says.
So yeah, a little peek behind the curtain there for listeners.
Awesome. I'm fine with our listeners thinking I look like Kurt Russell.
I was just like, wait, what? So, okay, nice. Fair enough. Yeah. I can see it. Jack goes undercover, huh?
Yeah. I like undercover Jack.
I can't get a read on what exactly he is. Because he
He's
seems like an awful human being, but
yes.
he seems like a nerd at the same time.
Yeah, I think it's his idea of what someone who would pay for sex
That's awesome.
um, in a situation like this. Like he's trying to play it up as just being a big loser dork. I don't know. Maybe he's playing it like he's someone who travels a lot for business, and he's just popping through town, and wants a evening with a green-eyed Chinese girl.
Yeah.
I can't help but think that I guess he comes here often enough that maybe he's just seen this stereotypical dude. I don't know.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
That's my guess.
I like that his character has a backstory of a wife that bought him that tie, though.
Yeah, he's really laying it on pretty thick there. But I mean, it works, I guess.
I'm just saying, he's a master of disguise.
Yeah.
If only there was a sequel, we could have seen the other characters that Jack Burton could fool us with.
See, I was trying to figure out if the brothel knew what they had,
Right.
since she was all chained up like that.
Yeah,
were they aware that Lopan looks for this, or
I don't
anything
think
like
so.
that?
Based on the reaction of, I guess the madam when the roof gets ripped off and they take Meow, like she's screaming and like she seems surprised when the three storms show up. So, or I guess one of the storms.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how often those mystical things happen, because everyone else in the I should say the Caucasians in this movie just know him as a businessman that's reclusive.
Yeah.
But everyone else knows he's more sinister than that.
More mystical, yeah.
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 Well, I think it's the folklore, because they talk about that a little bit, that like they knew Lopan from these stories, whereas there also happened to be this businessman named Lopan, and I would assume that the average person would not think they were the same person. And that's how I always kind of took it.
Yeah. Because the reporter comes in, I guess after the brothel mission, the reporter comes in to the restaurant, I think. And like she gives a big exposition dump about who David Lopan is.
Yeah. It's like a shipping magnate.
I guess. I'm not sure exactly what I didn't pay attention enough to the details of who Lopan is, but I just assume businessman of, probably got his fingers in all the.
Yeah.
Then like Wang starts to offer the truth after having been involved this whole time. When they're first leaving the airport and they're in the alley, Wang kind of knows some of what's going on. Like he knows who the different gangs are. He knows who the Lords of Death are, all this stuff. He knows a little bit about who, I think he even says Lopan when they kind of run over him and everything. And so he understands like some mystical stuff is happening. And then
he tells him not to look at his eyes.
Yeah,
he does his weird face glow thing.
Yeah. So Jack is obviously frustrated and doesn't know what's going on, so he's kind of yelling at everybody. And then Wang starts to offer the truth, or he says, do you want the truth, Jack? And he says, yeah. And then he's like, I don't know. Like suddenly he doesn't know what's going on. So like throughout the movie, Wang sometimes knows and sometimes doesn't know what's going on. And that was really frustrating to me, because I'm Jack and I'm relying on Wang to be like letting me know what's going on. Sometimes other characters let you know what's going on, but at times it's just Wang kind of flip-flops on kind of knowing what is happening. I found that really frustrating.
Well, I think it's more like he knows this stuff through story from his father or whoever that is. And it's more like he's trying to get a grasp on, oh crap, this stuff is real. Because I get the sense that he tries to deny all this stuff, but then when he's faced with it, he is kind of slow on the uptake to sort of full-heartedly like believe in all this stuff. It seems like, but so I could see where you get a little frustrated.
Yeah.
Even though he himself is basically, a magical kung fu guy. I mean, like he can fly through the air and everything else, but somehow the rest of this is hard to believe.
Yeah, so I could see the confusion and annoyance with that. There is a section of this movie that I liked with a callback. Earlier, Gracie says that she can't participate in the undercover stuff because they know her face.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And then later, she tries to tell him something, and he's like, yeah, I got it. There's a problem with your face.
Yeah, I marked that down, too. That got a big old check mark from me. Like, that's awesome, Jack, you know.
Yeah.
He says something about, like, if we don't show up in 5, or if we don't come back, or something like that, like, call the president.
Oh, yeah. No, that is my favorite quote of the movie. He says, sit tight, hold the fort, and keep the home fires burning. If we're not back by dawn, call the president. Like, that shit, I had to write that one down. I'm just like, that's the greatest line in almost any movie ever. That's the kind of shit that brings me back to this movie every time.
Very awesome.
And that's exactly the kind of shit that that's a John Wayne quote.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
I feel like half of that is a John Wayne quote with the home fires going and stuff like that.
Hold the fort? Like, what?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, boys. Are we in Iwo Jima? What's going on here?
Can we talk about Jack's boots?
Yeah, they're awesome.
Or just all his clothing in general.
What are you talking about? That outfit is made for kung fu fighting. Tight blue jeans, cowboy boots.
But they're like boots that like lace up the entire way. It's not like he's wearing cowboy boots. They're not shit kickers, you know. They're like
those are truck driving boots, buddy.
I don't know.
Hey, yeah, I'm not sure what the theme was.
It's the 80s, man.
Oh, okay.
Androgyny was in.
Yeah. Okay.
I just look at his entire outfit, really. I mean, I'm not sure what that like pullover hoodie kind of thing is that he's got on in the beginning. But the only people I've ever known in my life that wear those were all like hippies.
Yeah.
Well, he's in San Francisco, so
yeah,
there's a lot of stoners there.
Yeah. Well, and the weather would be nice most of the time. Oh, hang on a second.
Yep.
Sure. I heard, what the hell?
Oh. Yeah, I don't know. Currently investigating. I'll be right back.
No worries.
He scratched the Big Trouble Little China DVD, and now she's pissed.
Yeah.
That would be my reaction. It's like, what the hell? Either that or Lo Pan showed up with his stormtroopers.
Nice.
Get it?
You gotta.
I gotta save that.
Yeah, save that. You need to add that to the recording.
Damn, missed a moment of gold right there.
We can play it off like it's an original moment.
Just yuck it up when I say it next time.
Oh, we'll do. Oh, make sure and go big with my...
Yeah. Go big or go home. That's what Jack Burton says.
That's right.
All right.
Let's see. I think we got off talking about Jack's boots, and then cat drama happened. And so, yeah, we're still like mid-second act.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see here. Well, and this is where it gets confusing because there's like rescue mission followed by rescue mission.
Oh, you got the upside down sinners pool of corpses.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, you get the really pushy phone repair guys.
Yeah, I like that. Jack
Burton's second undercover mission.
Right, where him and Wang go in undercover, which...
Totally dressed like phone repair guys.
Yeah.
He's actually carrying a phone, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah,
that's his only.
He's carrying a landline phone.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm with the phone company. Obviously, I have a phone with me and no tools.
Yeah.
That's it.
He just barges in. Is the panel back here?
Hey, effective. You got to walk in like you own the place. It's rule number 1. Spy work.
Yeah.
What is it? They get caught in the upside down center hell water chamber. That's how they get caught, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they come out in one of the storm warriors. Is basically they're waiting for him.
Yeah.
And then they wheelchair him to Lo Pan. Is that where we go?
Yeah. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, because they take him like up the ramp and then they leave him in there for a minute.
And I just enjoy the Lo Pan and Jack interactions back and forth.
I'm into Lo Pan. Like, he looks great. He's like a super old, nasty looking, kind of horny old dude, because like he delights in talking about looking for the right girl, and he like kind of says something to Jack like, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I really like the makeup and everything on James Hong here as Old Man Lopan.
Old Man Lopan. Yeah, I don't know if you guys have ever seen another movie. It's similar name, oddly enough, called Nothing But Trouble with Dan Aykroyd and Chevy Chase.
No.
Well, there's a old judge in a like podunk town.
Yeah.
And Dan Aykroyd plays that old judge, and he looks somewhat similar, like this just really old and disfigured old guy, and it made me think of that.
Yeah.
Isn't there like an awful movie?
Right. I think I've heard that. Isn't there like a kind of a joke in the makeup and prosthetics where like doesn't he have like a dick nose kind of thing?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Yeah, it made me think of that because it was just so over the top with the old makeup, you know?
Yeah.
But he's supposed to be like thousands of years old or some crap?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, they keep telling Jack like backstories, 200 years ago, 1,000 years ago. It just keeps going.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to figure out what is he stuck as like an old man that can't touch anything?
So the old man in the wheelchair, he's as physical as Jack or Wang, like, but he's stuck in an old man body. So he's, I guess, maybe paralyzed, like he can't walk around. So he's just...
So it's just a vessel that he's stuck in?
Yeah. But he can transition into, the
form.
wizard kind of form, but then he's a ghost. So he's intangible, So it's kind of like in Thundercats, you got like Mum Ra and, so he's an old, mummy. And then he can, when he's powerful, he's like a, big monstrous, I don't know. So it's not like Thundercats, but I just thought of like old man turning into more powerful form or whatever. But
yeah, because when he raises his pinky for tea, he disappears that old man body and becomes the wizard being. Okay. Yeah, it was just something I was trying to figure out exactly what, because could that old body bleed and be killed? Because he seems later on like really thrilled that he has blood.
Yeah. Well, I think in his younger body, I guess is the best way to think about it. Like he wants the younger form to be physical.
It's his superpower form, if you will, for the sake of the podcast. He wants to stay in the form that not only could live forever, but has access to all this magic power. And he's young; he can walk around or float around, and or be a creep with his two wives.
Mm-hmm, yeah,
we got a big jailbreak sequence.
Sure do.
That's pretty awesome.
Is this with? I guess they kind of stormed the place, and the reporter's there.
Yeah,
like everyone's there. I guess Gracie's there.
Yeah, I guess we should say that the rest of the gang didn't stay back and keep the home fires warm.
Oh, that's right. They came in to check on them or whatever.
Yeah, and at the same time that the escape's going on, they're being captured because they come in and start getting just a whole story of bullshit from one of the storm guys, and then he takes them into that elevator and like knocks them all out or something like that. Oh,
that's right, with the gas.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gasses them all in the elevator.
I'm still trying to figure out how Eddie knew where everyone was, because they all seemed confused if they were going up or down, and then they just passed out.
Yeah, there's something weird with the elevators, like you never know which direction they're going or something like that. Part of its mystical quality, I guess. They explain that it's weird, but they don't, obviously no explanation why. But I don't really dig the Storm walking around as a normal dude, like in a suit and everything. I like the Storms as the, or the outlandish costume kind of thing.
So you think he should have just walked out like that and been like, "What are you guys here for?"
Kind of like
them all out.
Yeah, like it really took me by surprise when I see him just as a normal guy.
Just wanted to headbutt Eddie and throw him over his shoulder.
Yeah, like.
Oh, the lightning guy. I think he has to wear those metal pieces for his power, right?
Maybe, yeah.
Because isn't he always dressed in his metal gear?
Yeah, I think he's the one we don't see outside of his warrior outfit, I guess. But the other two, I think Rain and Thunder,
Mm-hmm.
I think we see both of them in just like businessman suits kind of thing.
They don't mind going a little casual and interacting with the civilians once in a while.
Yeah. I have a note here that says, "What the fuck is with the monster?" I think it's like as they're escaping, we see him. Its eyes are behind like a I don't know.
Oh yeah,
art
Scooby
piece
Doo
or
painting.
something. Yeah. And then does it pop up right after that or something? I forget.
Yeah, it's when Gracie's trying to leave with everyone.
Yeah.
And it grabs her.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So that
That's
was
like
a little
right as they're escaping.
little surprising to me.
Yeah.
I think just the level of special effects with the monster or practical effects. The suit I wasn't really digging.
It reminded me of Tokar or Razor from Ninja Turtles 2.
Okay, yeah.
I couldn't remember which one was which, but there's one that's like a hairy beast.
Razar,
yeah.
I think at this point, like, it's a John Carpenter movie, and I expect a little bit more from like the effects and the so that was a little disappointing. I don't think he had Rob Bottin from like The Thing, working on this, so I don't think maybe that's why it doesn't look as good. But I was kind of disappointed with the look of that like werewolf looking kind of guy.
Yeah, I definitely have that in my notes, and this is exactly what I was talking about at the beginning when I said there's something that a few things that don't hold up at all that immediately kick you out of the movie, and to have to watch like Kim Cattrall try to act alongside this monster, like I just felt bad for this particular, just watching it yesterday.
Well, this act really let me know the confidence behind Jack Burton.
Okay.
Basically with a gun. He doesn't know the safety's on. And I don't believe for a second that he shot all those locks off the cages in the women's holding cell. And the first time he shoots a guy, he's obviously stunned. And I think Eddie says, "First time you plugged a guy before?"
Yeah. And he's like, "Of course not." Or like he's doesn't want him to think that he's never killed someone before.
Yeah. So he's like masking his insecurity with overconfidence.
And I did read that they were originally planning on setting this movie as an old Western. It's like when you watch old Western movies, of course, everyone has killed somebody before. Like it seems so natural to see someone shoot another person. Whereas today, in the modern, era or whatever, it's a big deal to shoot and kill somebody. But when you watch an old Western, it seems like, oh, it's not a big deal. Like he was on your land, so you kill him, or you got in a fight in a saloon, so you kill him. Like it's not a big deal.
Right. Highwayman tried to rob me and I shot him.
Yeah.
Had to happen. Sorry.
It's nothing illegal about it. Nothing, So it is interesting that they present it like, oh, it's no big deal to kill someone, but then it's obvious, he takes a second there to kind of like pause, like I just shot somebody,
But that second is all he needs because he's Jack Burton.
Yeah.
And he's
and then
okay
later
with
on,
it.
he's plugging people left and right, but.
Well, then he shoots and it like the gun whips around like he has no control over the gun. He's like shocked by the power of it.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all I had for Act 2. If you guys had anything else. Okay.
Oh, you know what though? We did get the answer to your earlier question of what's up with those boots, and the answer is you got to keep a knife in there.
Oh yeah,
that's right.
They do. Yeah, they do serve that nice purpose.
It comes back later too.
It sure does.
That's what you get for judging his lacy boots there, Travis.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so we escape in the Egg Foo Yang wagon or van,
the big yellow bus,
the tour bus.
Yeah,
the low riding bus.
Yeah.
So this is where we figure out we got to go right back to where we were just escaping from.
Yep.
Whoops. Jack.
Mm-hmm.
So we all meet up at the egg lair where they have their own little sorcerer conveniently.
Yeah. Egg is has
And
some hidden talents and a little more to him than meets the eye, I guess.
Yeah, a lot more. He's got like a whole block, a city block of property in Chinatown, but he drives a bus, tour bus.
He's just been biding his time until he had to face Lo Pan.
I guess so. It was always meant to be. And I like his bat pole that they have into the sewers. That was very awesome.
Yeah.
I think when I saw it, I went, no, 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 no.
Nice. Before that, though, he gives them all like some weird potion to drink.
Oh, that's right. They drink it there, yeah.
That's
that'll
actually
come
one
up
of
later.
Yeah. That is
You mean
pretty funny, all that stuff he grabs.
The potion of vagueness. Let you see what others can't.
Yeah.
Do what others can't. But not specifically tell you what it does.
Nope.
Bring this along with us. It should up the ante in Act 3.
Right.
So
they go underground, and it's just like this kind of a long sequence of them like walking through tunnels and more vagueness as far as like, oh, it's the black blood of the earth. What do you mean? Like it's oil or something? No, it's just the black blood of the earth. Okay. And then there's like monsters that pop out of the wall and like, I don't know. That was a bit like surprising, and
he's got to protect his lair.
Yeah.
He's got monsters throughout and a weird eyeball guy.
Yeah.
Surveys. Yeah.
They do kind of explain it with Egg saying that the world like was flipped and things were released, basically. I guess that's where the underground monster come from, the monster we saw earlier. And yeah, this weird eyeball floating thing that's... Yeesh.
Well, and what I tried to piece this together, and again, I'm just as guilty of diving in too much, but my guess was a California earthquake. And, that when that happened 1,000 years ago or whatever, like these monsters were released. That's my guess.
That could be. I thought he said something like that Lopan like fought and they shook the earth or something. Maybe didn't write down the line, so I might be off. But yeah, that could be.
No, it was something like that because he like flipped it, but I wasn't really sure just in that spot or like the whole earth, and no one else remembers that day he flipped the earth.
Right.
Just for a second, there was monsters,
and they've never really caused other problems anywhere else. But
nope, they just
now, all
hang
of a sudden,
out.
they're here.
Yeah, they're like 50 feet, underground in California, but it's okay. Just don't go down there.
There's another odd thing with Gracie that we see Gracie and Meow, and they're both like made up in kind of ceremonial outfits, maybe like wedding gowns, I guess, and. Like this entire time, Meow is very much in a trance or unconscious. And then we see Gracie, and she looks just like Meow does, but then Gracie like kind of snaps out of it and tries to wake up Meow. And then someone starts coming, and then she pretends to be asleep or pretends to be like... I don't understand why Gracie isn't still in a trance, because I think they do it with... Lopan like opens his eyes and does the glowing eye thing, and like that's what makes Gracie go into a trance at first. So I don't know why she's able to like snap herself out of it, but then goes back into it once the ceremony starts or something. Like it again, probably like picking too much at this, but
it may just be that the fact that she knows about this so she can fight it, where
maybe
Meow doesn't know and is taken off guard, or
could be
Gracie's got a stronger will against it or something. I don't know. Yeah, I try not to think about it too much.
No, I think you got it right there. I mean, she's one of the heroes, so for whatever reason, she can shake it off at least momentarily until he starts the ceremony again. For I don't know. I mean, it does make for an interesting little scene.
Sure.
So, did anyone else think that the wedding hall looked like an Alice Cooper stage?
Oh, you mean the Asian mall?
Yeah.
With the escalator and neon tube lights.
Yep, and the giant skull.
Yep. Yeah. Wasn't digging that set.
Yeah, it was so weird. That, and like at one point, the one guy tries to break the skull face so it closes down, but people just walk through it anyway.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, whatever.
The elevator scene is really good, where Jack and Wang and Egg and all those guys are in the elevator, and they're like, I feel good. Yeah, I feel real positive.
After drinking the magic juice of vagueness. Yeah.
I really like that.
Yeah, there was a part where they're searching Lopan's office, and they're like feeling around, and he's like, oh, it's hollow. And he's like, hollow, fuck it. And then he just cuts it open.
Yeah.
It's just one little snippet that I just love from Jack Burton.
And that's your one fuck for a PG-13 movie right there.
There it is.
Are you serious? Oh wow.
Yeah. Or at least that's how it used to be. Like,
Yeah.
you could get away with one.
Yeah. Well, it stood out.
Yeah. Yeah. I just have a series of what the fuck moments kind of from here with the
of this giant battle.
basically like the aerial sword fighting. And then I finally like realized, oh, it's because they drank that potion that Wang is able to fly through the air and kind of do these, things that he wouldn't normally be able to do. Because first time I watched it years ago, I didn't understand that they had drank this potion or whatever, and that's what I thought. It was just a normal guy, and he's able to fly through the air and do all these flips. Now I at least realize that there's a reason for him being able to do that.
I mean, he's obviously skilled at fighting with the sword, but now he can leap around. I don't know. It is really cheesy, but for some reason I'm willing to accept it.
Yeah. It's more acceptable with the potion now that I understand that it enhances their abilities.
Oh yeah.
I'm assuming Jax is to be able to withstand rocks falling on his head after shooting up in the air.
Yeah. Or be able to like hold that guy, he's kind of pinned to the ground with the big armored guy on his, all of his weight on him. And like he's stuck there for a few minutes.
Yeah, I guess.
Everyone else is having this big battle and he's like pinned to the ground.
Yeah, I mean, between those two things, it basically keeps him out of the majority of the battle. It's a gutsy move, but it's perfect, especially for how cocky he's been, because here we are in the big sequence at the end, and there's 50 dudes fighting in the room. He knocks himself out to start it off, and then he gets trapped under another guy.
It's like Bilbo Baggins and The Hobbit, like at the big battle at the very end. He's knocked out for the entire thing, so he doesn't actually experience the big battle.
Yeah. Well, the difference there, though, is that Bilbo didn't walk around talking shit the whole time on the way there.
Yeah.
I hope some orcs show up. You'll see what old Bilbo Baggins does at a time like this.
I do have one moment that I think our listeners would expect from me.
Okay.
And that is that when Lopan and Egg go at it, they have the power of the shorts.
Oh.
Yeah,
Nice.
I hadn't thought about that. The little pinky magic battle that they have.
Their magic thumb wrestling.
But when it shoots out, it's just light. And I was like, they have the shorts.
Yeah.
And then, it turns into a weird projector battle of old samurais. And
At that point, I was like, okay, I'm just going to go with this. I'm not going to try and understand how or what or,
Just leave that over there.
Yep. That's happening. So I guess it kind of is like people are breaking off from this main room. Like Lopan, I think, takes the one or both women. I forget if he grabs. I think he grabs both of them. And they kind of make off into the main, I guess, upper level of his place here. You got everyone kind of following him, and then.
Well, this is where we actually see what the potion did for Jack. It heightened his reflexes that are already awesome.
Oh, okay.
After he throws it and misses.
Yep.
Hits the gong at that, too. That's the best part. It's like he misses and totally alerts him.
I like the look on his face, like after he threw it, he's like, damn it.
I didn't piece together that his reflexes would have been heightened because of the...
Oh, that's what I assumed.
It may, I think you're probably right.
Other than that, it enhanced his ability to avoid a fight. I don't know. And it also is the iconic image of Jack Burton with the lipstick on his face.
Yeah.
And teeth. She had a lot of makeup on.
Sure did. I was kind of surprised to see Lopan just take a knife to the head and be done.
Yeah, it's all in the reflexes, baby.
It's all in the reflexes.
Yeah, and we're well over an hour at this point. We got to wrap this up. Boom.
Yeah.
Got to give Jack something there at the end.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Got to have his hero moment.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And then you get Thunder exploding because they didn't take him out, and for some reason they wanted to use these special effects that they had. I mean, here's the budget of the whole movie. It's spent on escalators and this.
Yeah.
So they certainly didn't spend much on that monster.
No.
They dropped a Buddha statue on lightning there at the end.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And that's it for the stormtroopers. They're all gone.
Stormtrooper's nice.
You got thunder, lightning, rain, and is that it?
Yeah,
or is
just
it
the
wind?
3 of them.
Okay, I couldn't remember if one was wind or not, because I felt like one of them was floating more than the others. Wait, what the hell was Rain's power then?
I don't know.
Thunder was just like literally explosive at the end, but he could. I figured he was just powerful like thunder, but Rain, what the hell did he do?
I don't know.
Wasn't he the sword guy?
I think so.
Yeah, I think
what
so.
Was his mystical
I don't
power?
know.
Yeah, we didn't really see him do much.
Okay.
Maybe he was quick. I don't know.
Weak.
Make it rain really hard. You guys deal with this.
It's gonna be slippery now. Okay, so the hero prevails.
Yeah.
Happy ending, or so we think. That's so bad.
Yeah. I got like a couple odd and end little notes, but nothing like. Okay, maybe help me out with this. So they're trying to escape, and Wang needs a boost up through the hole. But minutes ago, he was doing like aerial ballet. Like, why couldn't he just jump up? So I don't know if they're trying to imply that the potion thing is worn off. But I thought it was really weird that he couldn't.
A lot of his jumping was horizontal.
Oh, okay.
He
doesn't have a vertical leap. He can.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You know what? I'm gonna guess it's probably something like that. Like, they all drank the potion and then kind of used it up. But perhaps that's just me thinking about like tabletop role playing games and video games and stuff, where it's like drink this potion and then the next 2 minutes you can leap around and fight sideways.
Man, that's how potions work. They wear off.
Yeah. Anything else? There's the little wrap up scene with the whole gang is back at the restaurant and everyone's like saying their goodbyes, and Egg kind of says he's taking off for a vacation. And
do like Jack's last one-liner, what we call it. Wang pays him triple instead of double.
Yeah.
And he's like, you didn't have to do it. And Wang says, you deserved it. And he goes, yeah, you're right. I did. And then he just walks away.
Yeah.
He did all this for $2,000.
Sure did.
And his truck.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and his truck.
Yeah, don't forget the pork chop. Come on.
How could I?
A sweet ride. I mean, that's his podcast station and truck.
Right.
So, and that's perfectly how we leave it. He's out on the road, didn't kiss the girl, left her in the wake, and then just started talking to his fan base.
Right. He had to get back to his true love, the podcast.
Yes.
And he has the monster with him. So maybe him and the monster could podcast.
Ooh. Like
he should just take him. They should be friends and just go trucking.
Yeah.
It's like BJ and the bear.
Yeah, that's right. It's not too far off.
This is Jack Burton and the monster. We're out on the road.
It's like his own little Chewy.
That's right. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh shit.
That's awesome. He's got a little bit of Han Solo in him.
Yeah. I mean, Han Solo is just a truck driver.
Yeah.
He's a freighter pilot, so that to me just says truck driver.
Yeah. Well, Han Solo is a drug runner.
Yeah. But he also takes on like legitimate, he covers that by taking on a legitimate freight shipping.
Yeah.
So he's literally just a truck driver.
So you're saying that those pigs have drugs stuffed in them?
Could be. I mean, yeah.
That would be an awesome backstory. These really smuggling drugs inside of like pig carcasses.
Right.
All right. Well, this movie ends as weirdly as it began.
Yeah. I'm surprised they don't come back with at the end with like they don't bookend it with Egg talking to the lawyer. Because they have that weird scene, which I really like it at the beginning with Egg talking to the lawyer, and then he does the little weird, lightning display with his hands to talk, to kind of preemptively let you know that there's some mystical shit coming your way. But then they don't bookend it with that. So
yeah, because that is after the fact.
Right.
The beginning is the aftermath.
Right.
Huh. Man, but to be fair, I didn't watch through the credits. So is there a bumper at the end?
I watched I guess I turned it off. I listened to, because it ends with a song, and of course it's the song is Big Trouble in Little China, written by John Carpenter and performed by the Coupe de Villes.
Nice.
So that's awesome.
I stayed through the credits enough to like see that credit, which the music is usually right towards the end, but I think I might have turned it off a little bit after that. So I don't think there was a post-credit scene. That wasn't too often done back then. I mean, it wasn't.
And if they were going to do that, I feel like they would have drug the monster part out after that.
Yeah,
maybe had Jack talk a little more through the credits and then play a song, then have the monster show up.
All right. Well, I think that'll do it for the act breaks.
I think so.
Want to do most heroic villainous?
Yeah.
This is gonna be an interesting one, I think. So you want to start with most villainous?
We can start with villainous.
This planet, these people, they are nothing to me.
You were made to be ruled.
The universe is power. You unstoppable power. Come to me, son of Jor-El. Kneel before Zod. And I am that force. I am that power.
In the end, you will always kneel.
Kneel before your master.
I guess I'll go since I started it.
Go for it.
I'm going to go with the Lords of Death, or whatever they were called. Just the sex trade aspect of them alone. Plus, well, actually, they didn't steal the truck, did they?
I don't know who stole the truck. I guess Lopan did, because it was in his
Well, the Lords
base.
of Death are Oh, crap, I'm getting confused. Were the Lords of Death in cahoots with Lopan at all?
No.
Okay.
As far as I know, the Lords of Death are only the small gang of, like, the guys with sunglasses. They don't. I don't think they play a bigger part. That's it, really.
Okay. I think I got confused because they're in dark colors, like the red and black clan.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
So maybe I got them lumped together, but I'm still putting them in most villainous because they were stealing women at airports and then,
sex trade,
trafficking them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's fair.
Then it leaves you guys open to pick a more substantial part.
Oh man.
I'll I guess go with Lopan sacrificing, because his plan is to sacrifice one of the girls to marry the other one. So that's pretty villainous.
Yeah, it's got to be done though.
Yeah.
He's got to do what he's got to do.
Right. He's just trying to survive.
All right, well, I'm going to kind of flip it a bit here. I'm going to give my villain moment actually to Jack. Specifically the fact that he just runs over Lopan at the beginning of the movie. He has no qualms about running this dude over. It's kind of shocking.
I mean, Lopan does just kind of like pop up right in front of the truck. It's not like he's got...
And he beckons him with his finger.
Mm.
So he's asking for it.
He doesn't hit the brakes.
No, he does not.
He runs him over.
I can see that. That is a pretty cold-blooded thing to do, especially since he doesn't believe in any of the supernatural stuff going on around him.
Well, and I must admit, I tried to think outside the box on these because of the way that you presented the argument for how heroic the wizard was in Conan, because he was actually keeping that girl safe.
Yeah.
So I thought, all right, these guys are going to go weird angles on this.
I like it. So our hero is our villain. Damn it.
Just for that moment.
Okay, most heroic then.
I believe there's a hero in all of us
I just finally know what I have to do.
that keeps us honest,
I'm here to fight for truth and justice in the American way.
gives us strength,
You will give the people of Earth an ideal to strive towards.
makes us noble.
And I know in my heart that it's right.
I might have to rethink my whole...
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a heroic one. I didn't really have any. I didn't have these written down ahead of time.
Well, I mean, the obvious one is Egg. He's the one with the magic potions. He can fight Lopan to a stalemate or something.
Yeah.
I didn't quite get that part because Lopan says you could never beat me, but he kind of was just as strong as you, so why are you so cocky?
Yeah.
But whatever.
Well, I do have one, and I'll throw it in if you want.
Go for it.
To help him back out, I also give the heroic moment to Jack, and that is really just being in the right place at the right time to catch the knife and finish off Lopan.
Right on. I mean, yeah, that's definitely, you know, I think the standout hero moment. That's
Yeah, and I want to give it back to him because I just kind of crapped on him for
Right.
being a villain there for a moment. But in the end, it turns out the guy that you ran over was actually the villain of the movie. So good job.
What you got, Travis?
I'm trying to think of one. I mean, that was basically the big one, but I feel like it comes down to either Egg kind of setting them up, you know, preparing them for battle, but then like the group of them, they all rescue, like they're towards the second act. Yeah, they still managed to rescue a bunch of sex workers, you know.
Yep.
Obviously Gracie's left behind, but inadvertently. But I got to give it to that. Like, they still get a bunch of women out of servitude. I don't know.
Well, I was always unclear what they were there for, because does Lopan deal with sex trade?
Maybe they were other women that he'd tried. I don't know. Yeah, because
I thought he was just interested in green eyes.
Yeah. Because maybe then I don't know, because the brothel and Lopan didn't seem connected. So why did they have a bunch of girls trapped or, you know, in the cages or whatever? When did we see them get captured, or were they just there already?
No, they were just there already.
Okay. I don't know who they are.
There was a bunch of cells because that's where Gracie was like hogtied. We didn't see why. But we assume it's because she's so feisty that they were like, all right, tie her up and put her in a cell.
Right.
Oh, well.
So I guess whoever those women are, I guess I just assume that they were the sex workers from the brothel, but...
And, yeah, we can assume whatever it was they were doing was not fun and that they were in cages, you know?
Regardless of,
heroic.
why they were there, they were rescued. So that's my heroic moment.
Think like Jack Burton. He didn't wonder about why they were there. He simply rescued them.
Right.
I'll give a nod to Wang, because without him, Jack would have died probably like 5 times.
Mm.
He was basically there to save Jack the entire time. Well, and to get the girl back.
And to explain most of what was going on.
Yeah.
Because really, without him, none of this really gets started for Jack. So it's all his fault. So maybe Wang's the villain. It's his fault for having a green-eyed girlfriend. Although that whole relationship's kind of weird and creepy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I assumed at the start of it, I kind of thought, like, is this an arranged marriage? And
that's
they're
what it sounded
sending
like.
her, you know. But then he does say, like, he came over and he's worked and he saved money to bring her over specifically. So,
But he hasn't seen her since they were 5.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of weird. Oh, well.
Yeah. Best not to think about it too hard.
All right. Did you want to do the Rotten Tomatoes thing, or
go for it?
Something else?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm curious.
So Rotten Tomatoes, we try to guess the audience percentage and then the critic percentage. This one's going to be tough since it's a cult classic.
Yeah, they're always hard to read. Like
those can be really hard. So I guess we'll start with audience percentage. So 0 being the movie The Room, and 100% being Empire Strikes Back or something. So
Shawshank
Travis,
I'm feeling like a 70
for the fans. Okay.
Yeah.
And Pete,
I think I'm going to go a little higher. I'm going to go 75.
Okay. I'm thinking. I'm always horrible at cult ones. I'm going to go 60.
Nope.
And then critic. What do you got, Travis?
I'm going like 55. 60. I'll go 60.
60. Okay. Pete?
Oh, man. I guess I don't look at enough of these.
Yeah.
But usually the audience is obviously going to be better on a cult hit, right? I mean.
Not always.
Generally, but not always.
Yeah, I've been burned by that.
All right, you know what? I'll match it. I'm going to go 75% as well.
Okay. I'm gonna go 82.
Wow. Okay.
I think some of the critics may, fall into the people that really like the campiness of this.
Oh, okay.
But we'll see how horribly wrong I am here. All right, Rotten Tomatoes. Holy crap! Okay. So the audience score 82.
Wow.
So Pete is the winner on that one with 75.
Okay. Okay.
The critic score, 82.
Wow.
I got that right on the money.
Damn.
So they're both 82. So Pete was kind of close going 75 on both because it's the same damn score.
So everyone loves this movie.
Wow.
I guess so.
But not the monster.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, critic consensus, brimming with energy and packed with humor. Big Trouble in Little China distills Kung Fu B movies as affectionately as it subverts them. Very cool.
Nice.
So yeah, this one's highly rated by everyone. All right, so me and Pete are winners, and Travis is the big loser in this one.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Travis. All right. So what did you want to do our own personal ratings?
Yeah, I think our overall thoughts and ratings.
Okay.
Pete, you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. I think I've explained, but yeah. I have a childhood love for this movie that I've carried on to rip off through D&D and everything else. I got to give it a 4.0. I know I'm biased, but that's about as high as I can go. It's not like this is a movie for everybody, but if you were to say, hey, Pete, what's a great 80s classic? I would probably say this at least 1 out of 3 times.
Cool. All right. I'm sort of along the lines with Pete, 4.0. Really enjoyable to watch. You don't have to think too hard. And I'd actually say if you do think, try not to. As you may have heard while we were talking about this movie, when you think about it, certain things fall apart. So yeah, it's just a lot of fun. I mean, Jack Burton himself is what keeps me coming back, like that character. I just always laugh at the points that, like, his lines, his one-liners are just perfect for this movie. And now that I heard the John Wayne, I'm never going to not think of John Wayne. So thanks for that.
You're welcome.
I don't know why I wouldn't have. Yeah. I mean, after you said it, I was like, oh, yeah, duh. So, yeah, thanks for that.
And I don't mean it to knock Kurt Russell's acting ability either. It's a good choice.
Yeah,
and it's a good choice.
Yeah. All right, Travis. We're waiting for you to crap all over this movie.
Why do I have the reputation of the one that shits on everything everyone loves?
Hey, record speaks for itself.
God damn it.
I ended up taking a lot of shit for Battlestar because I never gave any episode a 10.
Yeah.
That's how it goes, man.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Yeah. Well, true to form or true to my, reputation, like, for the most part, I really like what Kurt Russell's doing. I agree with the John Wayne, impression. I think that is a strong choice, and it works really well. I love James Hong in this movie. I love everything. Every scene with Lopan is just pure joy for me to watch. Like, that was all perfect. The stuff that kind of tipped the scales the other way for me, it's all the Gracie Law scenes, the stuff with the reporter, the flip-flopping of who knows what and when and why. Sometimes characters are surprised by things, but at other times they're not. Like, so I'm sure I'm in the minority on this one. Like, I understand that this is a cult classic and it's beloved and all that, because I went into it thinking I must have just not had a great experience the first time I watched it. Because the first time I saw it, it was just very much like, oh, really? This is the movie that everyone seems to love? Like, I was just surprised, I guess. So watching it this time around, I thought, I bet I'm going to have a really good time with this one. I bet I'll probably see things I didn't see the first time. And now that I kind of understand what it is that I'm going into, I thought I'd let the campy, schlocky action comedy stuff, I thought that would be really fun, but it kind of wore out its welcome for me a little bit. So based on like the movie, the story, I guess, like I was somewhere around a 2, but then those performances bring it up to like the performances are somewhere like, I'd rate like a 3.5, but merge those, I'm more at like a 2.5 overall for the overall story and movie and performance and all that. I'm doing a 2.5. So
wow.
Yeah, sorry.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess you're in that 18%.
Yeah.
The other 82% of us says suck it, Travis.
Right.
We're all tuning in to listen to Jack Burton just ham it up on the radio.
Yeah. Right. Wow. See, You don't need to know what's going on. You just got to know that there's Big Trouble in Little China. It tells you right in the movie title.
Right. You're right. You're right. It's just not a movie that I by the time it was over, I was like, I don't want to watch that again, like anytime soon. Maybe I'll revisit it a couple years to come, and I don't know. It wasn't for me.
Thanks, Pete, for being on the last episode we're ever going to do. I am shocked and appalled.
Yeah. Hey, it's still a 3.5, which is not bad. And I don't think this movie is terrible. I just don't really enjoy it that much.
Well, remember to leave your hate mail at travisbo@gmail.com.
Yep.
I'm assuming that's your personal email.
Ugh.
Wow, okay.
Sorry.
Jeez. Well, that's all right. We're going to run into this again with Spaceballs.
Yeah, the ever-approaching Spaceballs review.
I know.
No, yeah. You guys already realized you're on opposite ends of Spaceballs?
Oh, yes. That has been made abundantly clear from, like, episode 2 or something. It's been kind of a running gag, I guess, but...
Okay.
I've always
hated... How far are
I've
you
always
from
hated
Spaceballs?
and Patrick, it's like his favorite movie, so...
I watched it when I was like 8 years old at a sleepover, and it was the first movie I could remember laughing to because he said, I knew it, I'm surrounded by assholes. Because everyone there has the last name Asshole, and that is just comic gold. I don't know why everyone else can't see that.
I'm trying to remember the last time I watched it. It's been a minute.
Let's see, about 36 hours ago.
Nice.
I've never been able to finish the movie because I've just never...
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's that bad.
I do always remember loving Rick Moranis in it. Evil will always triumph over good because good is dumb. Like, this is literally a line in the movie.
Dark Helmet. Classic villain. Nobody like him.
Nobody like him.
I mean, he's playing with his dolls.
Yeah.
Come on.
How many,
this is the best movie ever. I don't know how anybody could think otherwise.
How many episodes do you have before you guys get to Spaceballs?
I think that's like, 87? So...
Yeah, we're in 86 now, so closing in, I'd say within 10, right?
Oh, easily, yeah. Because next we've got Aliens.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, we're about...
Spoiler alert, I have not seen Aliens.
Oh, okay.
I've seen Alien, not Aliens.
And you almost don't even have to see Alien. That's how good of a movie it is.
Different genres and...
If you just saw, like, the box to the first movie or a picture of the alien and knew that, okay, that looks dangerous.
Yeah.
Like, that's all you need. It's like how you can watch any Friday the 13th movie as long as somebody explains to you who the villain is or you've seen a picture.
Yeah, it's weird. That's the version of Ripley I've seen the most of, as opposed to the Alien version of her. So,
Yeah. She's action hero in Aliens, but she's just like the one that survives basically in Alien.
Yeah. The cast of Aliens is great as well. There's so many people in it.
Is Bill Paxton in that?
Yes.
Yep.
Is that the Game Over? Or
Game
is that
Over,
different...
man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I saw like a montage for his great moments or something.
Yeah, he's perfect in that. Then you got the guy that was in Terminator.
Yeah, Michael Biehn.
Oh, yeah.
You got... Oh, shit. Who was the guy that was in Mad About You?
Oh, yeah, Paul Reiser. Yeah.
Paul Reiser's in it.
Action star Paul Reiser.
He plays the dude. He's so well cast. Though.
Yeah,
he plays the Paul Reiser character.
Hey, he's an action star in Stranger Things too.
Yeah,
okay.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's in the final battle.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right. He's moving in a quick manner for an old guy.
Yeah.
I did not even know that was him.
Oh yeah.
Because I always remember Mad About You, Paul Reiser.
Sure.
So he's shockingly older.
Yeah.
Well, and this is more, 80s Mad About You style Paul Reiser, too. He's much younger. And then who's the guy that plays Bishop? That guy's in a ton of movies, too.
Oh, Lance Henriksen.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. Well, I think that's
we'll talk about the cast.
Yeah. I'm excited to see it, then.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Pete, anything you want to plug or?
I always got to plug the eternal Battlestar Galactica intro cast, resurrectioncast.blogspot.com or resurrectioncast on iTunes, and look for the Battlestar stuff, not all the religious stuff that comes up.
Yeah.
I always thought about that when we first started that too, before I got far enough into the show to even know what that meant. I'm like, isn't this just going to put us in a weird crowd? Like,
hey, you're going to get that sweet religious crowd that is devoted.
That also likes sci-fi.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey.
No, only thing to plug, and then I'll come back for, I don't know, I've set up for some other episodes. I don't remember which ones offhand.
Yeah, I forget now which ones we've got you coming up for, but you'll be back for sure.
Cool. Alrighty.
Yeah, so thanks for joining us on this one, Pete.
Hey, not a problem. If I'm not back, call the president.
Nice. Perfect. Anyway,
it's not getting any better than that.
It's not, but if you wanna give me some hate mail, you can do so at reelcomicheroes@gmail.com. We're at Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Real Comic Heroes. You can, despite my feelings on this movie, you can still leave us a nice review on iTunes, which we'll share on the show. And as we've said, next time we've got aliens. So anything else, Patrick?
As Jack Burton always says, keep your boots laced, a knife handy, and an abundance of overconfidence. You can do anything. Sound like something he'd say.
Yeah, I bought it. All right. Stay safe out there, citizens.
Just tell me one thing, Burke. You're going out there to destroy them, right? Not to study, not to bring back, but to wipe them out.
That's the plan.
All right, people, on the ready line. Are you me? Yeah! Are you me? Yeah! Are you? Get on the ready line, Marine! Get down to die! Get on the ready line!
Get your light up here.
Keep back, don't scare.
Movement! Talk to me, Hudson!
I got signals. I got readings in front and behind.
There's nothing back here.
Look, I'm telling you, there's something moving and it ain't us.
Get them out of there!
How could they cut the power, man? They're animals. There's movement all over the place. 5 meters, man. 4.
Aliens. This time, it's war.
I'm back.
Right on.
So, first ever cat battle. These cats have been living together for 1 year, and my little tiny cat finally just got tired of her giant fat cat and bit him on the head.
Holy shit.
And he ran all the way downstairs like crying, like we thought he was like super injured or something. But
oh, wow.
He's okay. He's obsessed with her because it's like, picture one old fat orange cat.
Yeah.
And that's like 30 pounds. I mean, super obese. And then I've got like a 7-pound little like snowshoe Siamese.
Scrappy little spitfuck.
We lose him?
I don't know. Pete? We lost Pete. Pete's been murdered by a cat.
I'm sensing low pans behind this.
That's right. It's been good knowing you, Pete.
Listeners, that's what we call drama. What has happened to Pete?
Ooh, where's
Stay
Pete?
tuned to find out. Did the fat orange cat get its revenge? Taking out Pete, the owner of said terrifying 7-pound cat. I think that's what happened.
Yeah.
The cat was afraid of the little cat, so he took out the little cat's owner.
Makes sense. I mean, it's the only logical explanation.
Thereby, well, the big cat would then have to eat Pete, so the little cat wouldn't have food anymore.
Yeah. Well, it helps to, they need to eat Pete to gain his power.
Yeah. It's like, what should we call it? Highlander.
Yeah, that's what, all
cut off the head and you get the power of that.
Hey, there we go.
Hey, Pete's back.
All right. I don't know what the hell happened there.
You missed an epic tale we told of your demise.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
We thought the cats killed you in retaliation for
for telling their story.
Yeah.
Anyhow, long story short, the tiny cat fought back and caused a panic, but we're okay.
I'm glad all survived in the end.
I like our story better.
Yeah, it's going on to the end of the episode.
Nice.
Basically, the fat cat took revenge on you, the owner of said little cat, and then devoured you to gain your power.
He probably would.
Over the little cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay. In turn, the big cat would become the master of the little cat since it destroyed and ate you.
Yeah.
So.
Fair enough.
All right, moving on.
Solid story.
Yeah.